You ever see a Furby like this guy before? I'd like to show you a little bit of how I worked on this little goofball here. Made a lot of creepy freakazoid Furbies in the past, but not quite sure that any hold up to this level.
Here's the prints fresh out of the printer and ready to prime. Since most of my dolls have clear eyes, I like to print in clear resin and then mask off the eyes to do a 3D backing effect. I'll show how that works a little later. For now, I'm just making sure these parts are nice and covered. With all the prints and Furby body primed, it's time for the zenithal highlights. When doing this, it's important to think about what direction you want the light to be hitting the character or model in, and spraying the majority of your paint values from that direction. Since this face is supposed to be stony white, it didn't really need an additional colour coat. However, I did use some black paint to darken the eye sockets. Now I'm just mixing up an oil wash. I forgot to add the paint at the back of the eyes, which is the 3D effect I mentioned before. This is what gives my characters all those eerie, super cool glassy eyes. Now I'm applying the oil wash, went a bit heavier on this one, but still pretty light. And to get a nice age speckled effect, I'm dabbing off the excess. Don't worry if you dab too much off, because you can always apply more. My favourite part about this process is just how non-destructive it is in that aspect. This is where the little guy really comes to life. I'm now applying the clear varnish to the eyes. Right now, I'm really liking doing this step with clear nail polish gel. I used to use clear UV resin for this, but it simply doesn't level quite as well as this. Now I'm just doing the same with the claws, trying to break up those surface properties. To cure the gel, I use my Anycubic wash and cure station, but any nail lamp will work just fine. Time to whack a ton of hot glue on the Furby to attach the face. If you use as much glue as I do, I promise you it will be a very, very firm bond that will not be breaking. I'll definitely have to make a video about how I do the Furby patterns, but essentially, I just take the fur covering from the original Furby, slice it up to get the pattern from it, and then trace it on new fabric. Then I stitch it up, which is frankly my least favourite part of that whole process, which is why I neglected to film it. But once it's all sewn together, I stick it on the Furby body and then glue it in place. To make sure the fur blends into the face well and there's no noticeable gaps, I use more hot glue just to fix the edges of the fur around the face. Quick demonstration of how I fix the claws on. There's a big hole in the claw models which allows me to thread a big thick zip tie through. I'll pierce 2 holes in the fur where I want the claw to go. One the entry point, one the exit point. I thread it through and then simply thread the zip tie back through the locking mechanism. There's actually a little touch sensor that you have to disconnect when disassembling the Furby. Let me know if you'd like to see a video of hacking these things apart. But yeah, I'm reconnecting that here. And then finally, I'm gluing the bottom of the fur around the battery compartment. And he's done! Let's take a look.
There he is. Thanks so much for watching the video, guys, and you know, if you're interested, this guy is actually live on my store right now. Link in the description. Catch you there.